Hi, this is Kat from Flock and Roll. I had the pleasure to talk to the guys from Red Drapes before their gig in Vienna at Ritz. Please don't mind the noise as we stood next to a heavily frequented road and me saying like about 1,000 times. This still does make me peaches scaled off though. So here we go, here's the interview. Okay, how was your tour up till now? Like, how was Austria?
It's quite a big opening question.
Yeah, but
it's a bit of a big all-rounder.
How is the whole country?
Right now,
nice.
Scenery in Austria is beautiful.
The drives have been epic.
Long, you mean?
Long and epic. We took lots of pictures of the mountains. I can't seem to stop taking. I've got enough stock pictures of the mountains.
We stopped off in the mountains to do some acoustic filming of some acoustic tracks. But we need to check them out first before we actually show anybody. But, what else have we done? At the moment, gigs. Yeah, we're getting there.
The first gig in Salzburg went down really well.
The Rock House,
really good. We played yesterday at Innsbruck. That was really good. That's probably the best gig we've done so far. So
nice, really nice.
At the Weekender Club. And
didn't get any sleep, and then we drove all the way here.
Did a session for FM4 this afternoon, which was really good.
You're going to be a star now in Austria because you've been playing on FM4 and you've been on FM4.
Certainly hope so.
Let's start.
Yeah, so the lack of sleep is worth it for that. So I'm looking forward to tonight.
Okay, and now just another question, and how did you actually come together? How did you form? You've been in other bands before?
I guess it's pretty much started with me and Adam. My name's Thomas. I play lead guitar. Adam plays vocals
and sings the guitar.
We started off in Southampton, knocking about looking for musicians for some time, and we found nobody that we were kind of happy with the sound. If you know what I mean, it wasn't them as people. And then we decided to move to London after university. Noisy traffic. Can you pin it down, please? I do an interview here.
Busy. Yeah.
So we
How
moved.
many girls are there?
We moved to London after we popped to. We moved to London after we went to university, and found drums and bass. George, say hello, George.
Hello.
We found George in HMV, I believe, and we were squatting in an old pub in Camberwell in South London, and we were rehearsing downstairs in this big old pub, and then we started to rehearse there and get our sound together. And then we've been gigging the London scene ever since.
Isn't the Camberwell the best pub in London?
It was in Camberwell, a pub in Camberwell.
Oh right, sorry. I heard it was called the Biggley Arms. To us it was the greatest pub, but nothing was working.
Yeah. No, I read
a
quote, and when you said the name, I was like, did I read it from you or somewhere?
It wasn't the best pub.
The beer's off, so don't.
No beer, plenty of mice.
Okay, and what's your biggest musical and non-musical influences? All influences.
Good question. Musical. Let's start off with musical.
David Bowie. Oh God! Don't put me on the spot. Literally the spot.
Always a question.
We've had earlier on. It used to be Echo and the Bunnymen, Smiths, Joy Division, Cure, and it's now moving a little bit more modern now, and a little bit bands like
Wild Beasts, Warpaint. There's lots of good stuff that's obviously come out recently, so it's all an influence. Non-musical, you say?
Anything from your bedside lamp or clock or to anything you keep in the kitchen?
Anything in the kitchen? Garlic. What was that?
The old pub was where we started off was a big influence. Just the decor, because it was all run down and derelict, and fucking cold. Yeah. And lots of mice.
Anything really, just like simple things like film. Obviously, we like David Lynch a lot. So anything we would say a bit spooky, a bit sexy sometimes. Just anything that's kind of of interest. Nostalgic, yeah.
Romance.
you don't have to keep moving your head right away from anything else.
No, and how do you write your songs? Is it like more autobiographical? Yeah, it's my English again. Or like on like some other
It's really perceptive, isn't it? It's more of from a perceptive point of view rather than I don't know how to finish that sentence off, actually. Seriously.
I think just the kind of study of the everyday. I think we quite enjoy sort of observing people and kind of writing about that as well as personal things. Not by any means looking down on anyone, but I think sometimes it's nice to just to write about sort of strangers and things like that. That obviously anyone can kind of interpret in their own way. Obviously, there's personal things in there, but it's still quite ambiguous.
Do you mean that, like you say, blatantly, or do you try to hide it so other people can't read it in a certain way?
I think there's no.
Not too blatant, is it?
Yeah,
there's some metaphors in there.
Yeah,
For example,
we're
you
very
wouldn't say a shag Jane. You just try to hide a
Just enjoy James.
She is. I don't remember that being one of our lyrics just yet. Yeah,
Maybe the second album.
I'd say, is that a challenge to try and conceal it?
Yeah, no, I meant by that. Sorry, if you were blatant, as if when you try to write it like that, or do you try to hide it and disguise it?
Not really. I think some of the lines are can be quite soft, and then the next line can be quite an aggressive line. Most of the tracks off the EP kind of share that relationship of a sort of stark word, and then something a bit more soft about the landscape. Maybe
Is this where we plug the EP? Can we do that? Yeah,
plug it in.
We're releasing, or it's actually available to purchase now on tour. But we're releasing our EP1 on Humming Records on the 11th of February on our Berlin.
Playing a show. I believe it's called Levy, which used to be Bang Bang Club in Berlin. So we're doing like a launch party there. So come down. You and all the people listening. Oh yeah, you can pre-order it now on Amazon. But we handmade them. We even shrink wrap them ourselves. That's how dedicated we are. So yeah, your hand's shaking.
I'm cold.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I got quite a lot.
Let's go.
I just wanted to ask how
Should
you
we start
see
a fire?
the music, like the press in England, if it's hard to get in like the major mags, and how if it's hard if you're not getting mentioned there to actually get bigger. Like what influence that?
Brennan, do you have any input on this one?
This is Brendan.
Well, I guess, like as we were saying the other day, magazines and stuff, like, obviously the bigger labels have more money to chuck at the magazines and stuff. So, yeah, it depends, and it depends, like, what scenes are going down, really, because a lot of writers and stuff just go with what the flow is and stuff, and so if something's a little different, it can be hard to get in, I guess, but...
Well, I would have said in London it is particularly difficult to get a headway anywhere, really, because there's just so much going on there.
So many different bands and stuff.
It's really fickle as well. Like Brennan was just talking about scenes. One band's popular 1 minute, and the next is their history. So it's really fickle, London.
Okay, and what do you think, like, if last year the BBC, there was like a big like article on it that the British guitar like kind of died out, the indie guitar, and I guess there was a big thing on like bands like the Vaccines and Brother, so that they the future on the new guitar bands. So what do you think about that? Is that true, or like what do you...
Them in particular? I wouldn't personally have said so. Again, those exact bands?
I read some disparaging comments. That was all.
All right. I don't know. I mean, again, it's just hype really with certain bands. I mean, at the end of the day, I believe if you've got a good song, then it'll get to people. Hype can be a good thing, but it can also be something that breaks you. I think the drums is a good example. They're extremely hyped, but as soon as they lose their guitarist, everyone wants to shoot them down. So it's kind of, I think you just have to do your own thing, and if you're impressed, that's great, but I don't think you should be, reading magazines every week, because I think that really halts the sort of process and the enjoyment of it sometimes, if you really just constantly looking and, weeping at night if you're not in NME, say. So Yeah. Don't worry about it. Everything will be alright.
Okay, and what do you think like about social media, like blogs or like internet, like playing like in your career? Is it like good or is it like not so good sometimes?
Is it detrimental to the way you perform as a band in terms of getting crowds in and into clubs and things like this?
Well, it's a good way of getting a name about. That's what everyone uses these days, isn't it? You know, power of the internet is sort of taken over all of the record labels. No one's signing anyone anymore. It's all independent, and
It certainly massively helps us out.
yeah, definitely for a band like us, and bands starting out, it definitely helps out building up a fan base.
Breaks barriers as well with like from fans to their bands, so don't have to go through someone else to get to them. It's very instantaneous.
There's been several small little blogging sites that have written about us and really helped us out along the way. I'd love to list them all now, but there's no way in hell I'll be able to remember. I'll just get the computer.
Yeah, alright. Well, there is well, it's funny enough that we were actually listed on a blog in Russia, which allowed our German label to find us in Berlin when we played last March. So that sort of shows we thank all of you. So yeah, I mean we're pretty heavy bloggers as well. We like to write sort of humorous tour diaries, and I think it's really good to be as personal as you can be. So at the end of the day, if you want people to engage with your music, then if you're just going to be a stone of a person, then obviously you can't really expect too much in return. So I think like anything, the more effort you put in, then you get back, hopefully.
Yeah, and what do you think, like, how much is, like, fashion, like, in your music? Because everyone always says fashion is connected to music. Like, do you think it's, like, necessary, or is it more just something, well, you have to throw it on?
Aesthetics.
Yeah.
Well,
I think it all appeals to the audience, isn't it? The fashion. I think it helps. It does help, definitely.
I think people want to see an image of. I think a lot of people would like to have a visual, relate visually to an image of a band, to connect it with the music image. I don't know. I think it all does work together, really.
Do you try not to fit the aesthetic in a way? Do you try to maybe put your own twist on it in some kind of way?
I wear what I wear because I like it, and I guess it sort of does go with our melancholic style of music. But I don't know. I mean. It's difficult to answer that question.
I think we always like to look reasonably smart. I really hope I'm wearing something smart underneath this jacket as I say this. I don't know. I think because we sort of take pride in the lyrical content, etc. I think it's sort of like going out. When you sort of play, you want to make a bit of an effort, and but then it works for different types of genres. Punk, obviously, you could not even wear a top, etc., or cut yourself on stage. So I suppose That's it. I think it's important, and I think we'd be lying if we don't take care in our appearance. So yes.
Okay, and why should people come to your gigs? Like, why? Tell yourself.
As in a sound bite, sort of. We can edit this.
Please do.
Because we're a fucking good band. That's why.
Can we email you that?
Yeah. One sentence.
Shit, I don't know. I could say it. I think that we write really thoughtful music that is melancholic, but it's not depressive in any way, shape, or form. It's
Ironically uplifting.
Ironically uplifting. I do think it's quite expansive. I think our music is observational and about the modern world, and does offer a slightly different perspective.
Oh, this was the Red Drapes outside of Ritz in Vienna.